Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be discussing the Bureau of Land Management website, specifically how to search it and how to find the land patents that are on it. First, we want to understand what is the Bureau of Land Management. The Bureau of Land Management is a U.S. federal organization, and they're charged with holding and maintaining all of the original land patents of federal land purchases. These are purchases of land by Americans from the federal government. Now, we're familiar with deeds. Those are purchases from another individual. Patents are distinguished by the fact that they are purchases of land directly from the federal government. Now, this may have taken place under any number of legislative acts, including the Homestead Act, bounty land rewarded to military personnel for their service, the Timberland Acts, and many other legislative acts. Suffice to say, all of these are considered land acts in which patents were distributed, and the patents are now held at the Bureau of Land Management. The Bureau of Land Management holds patents for any of the states that you see here in blue. You'll notice that they do not include the colonies or Texas or Hawaii. These states are considered public domain states or public domain land, distinguished specifically by the fact that they have been distributed as land patents through the federal government. The website is www.glorecords.blm.gov. You may wonder what the GLO stands for. That stands for Government Land Office. It used to be the name of the organization that had this responsibility prior to the Bureau of Land Management. So hence they've kind of merged the titles, and it's now the Bureau of Land Management Government Land Office. Long story to say what the GLO stands for. Know that this is a completely free website. You can be on it 24/7. There's no subscription, there's no sign-in, there's no passwords, there's no charges, absolutely and totally free to you. Further, all of the documents on the website are absolutely free, which makes it an absolute treasure trove for any genealogist. This is the Bureau of Land Management website. Now we'll get into actually searching the records. When you come to the home page, all you need to do is click on Search Documents. You're more than welcome to look around the rest of the website, but this is how we get to the patents. Once you've clicked Search Documents, you get this page, and it's basically a search dialog box so you can define what type or where you want to look for records. It's not a very fussy site. You can put in location, i.e. the state. You can then define the county, but if you don't know the county, you can just search by state. You can add the name of the patentee, the patent holder, but again, you don't have to include that. So you can search on any of these dimensions and look all over for different patents that you might be needing. I will say that the name search box doesn't support wildcards, i.e. if you want to put in a variable for a letter in a name, Smith, S-M-I, and maybe put in an asterisk for I so it could be different spellings. This website doesn't do that. So if you have name variations, you'll need to search under each of the name variations, or just search generally for the state and county where your ancestor purchased the land. Either way will work. Okay, now that you've clicked on a search and told it to look for, in this case, all of the Kansas patent holders, it comes back with a list. And since I'm just searching generally for Kansas, I get all of the Kansas patent holders alphabetically. You can see here they're in the letter A. Further, I get all of them in different counties because I haven't specified which county. And then I get basic information about the land that they received through the patent. The date the patent was issued, not the date the application process started, the state, and the geographic description of the land, which in this case for Mr. Peter Abel is Section 4, which is the southeast corner of Township 28 South and Range 29 West of the 6th principal meridian. It's a unique descriptor for just that piece of land. It happens to be in Gray County. The county isn't specific to the land description, it's just additional information they're sharing with you. Now, if I click on this icon over here, I go to the next site, or the next page, which gives me the patent. This is the actual document that your ancestors received. It has been scanned and put up on the website. It's in a PDF form, so it's easy to download and easy to read. So you can save this onto your computer for your future reference. You can see where it has the patent number. It lists the authority of the Homestead Act, in other words, the legislative act which enabled this person to get the land, certainly his name, and then at the bottom, I don't have it here, but at the bottom you will see a presidential signature. And don't get too excited. Just because it has a presidential signature doesn't mean the president signed it. If your patent by chance was issued and signed by the president prior to 1838, now that's pretty early, then you have an original presidential signature. After that, it's all surrogates. After you've received or pulled down your patent, don't forget to check the patent details page. This has wonderful information that you'll find helpful when you're looking to order the land entry files from the National Archives. The land entry files are all of the records that your ancestor filled out and received, correspondence and otherwise, to get the land patent. It's the application process. So basically, we have the ancestor's name, P stands for patent, land office, which in this case is Topeka. That's like the title office where he received the land. You will absolutely need that piece of information if you go to apply for the land entry files. The authority or the act in which he received the land, how many acres, and then some additional information. So well worth your efforts to check out the patent details page. Now, not all patents are on the BLM site. Okay, there are two divisions of the Bureau of Land Management, the Eastern States and the Western States. The Eastern States office maintains the serial patents for Western public land issued between 1908 and 1960. So the Eastern States has some of the Western land patents, but only the more contemporary ones. If you're looking for Western land patents prior to 1908, you need to contact the specific Western office, which unfortunately isn't the entire Western United States. It looks like this. There are a handful of different Western States divisions, and you can see them color-coded here, and they have an office in this specific city in that region. So here we have Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and New Mexico, and then the land office is in New Mexico. Now remember, I showed you patents for Kansas on the BLM website, which is true. They have the more current patents. If my ancestor purchased land in Kansas prior to 1908, I'd have to go through New Mexico, and specifically I think it's Albuquerque, where the land office is. Now, if my ancestor purchased land in the Eastern States, which are all of these gray states, then it should be on the website. Again, remember, all of the colonial states are not included in the BLM offices or through the patent or public land issuance. The land was distributed very differently then, and that's another whole discussion. So there you go, a quick primer on what the BLM is and how to find records on the website. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or check me out on my website. Be happy to hear from you. Thank you very much and happy researching.